have to start over again. Okay, I apologize. This is going to be annoying, so I'm just going to do this really fast. So I forgot to turn the record button back on. Um, okay, so I'm going over some stuff. Treasurer was not available today. Couldn't get the current budget. The city comprehensive plan is in progress. I believe the city administrator is working on that. I haven't heard any updates. It's going to be slow. It's December. $350 is the current net balance by KGFM for the city special events that run through December 4th. According to the treasurer, the procurement policy is in the clear. It does not appear that we went over the $500 limit for any Colorfest radio ads, but if there's any further question and it turns out that's not the case, then it will be corrected by our next meeting, but I did not see anything. Um, Thank you to Steve Twitchell again for the wonderful job on the radio ads. Spoke to Janine. She had some success with her business, but I didn't get a chance to talk to the other businesses about it. The Zoom videos are transcribing audio. Just for a record, anybody that's making public comments on social media, exercise proper decorum, because it might come back to haunt people later. But I guess I'm not naming anybody because I've seen
I
multiple
have a
people on
question.
Facebook.
I have a
Go for it.
question. Does that anything to do with anybody in the committee?
Um, like I said, I don't want to point fingers. I just noticed
You
that
don't have to point fingers.
people,
You can just say yes or no.
all I'm saying is the city, people that are part of any committees at all, or the city in general, I'm just saying that I've seen a number of people on social media and I don't want to make any comments. But
Right, but I'm just wondering
if,
if it has anything to do with us,
Are
the
we both
tourism
the same
committee.
standard as an employee handbook as
I'm
far
just
as that
wondering.
goes?
I would assume so because of the fact that we vote on stuff, but I can check into that. I will check with the city administrator and ask him.
Just so we know what that expectation is.
Yes.
I mean, I agree, great rule of thumb, but
Again, here's the thing. I'm not preventing people. Okay, so from my understanding, I believe Brian Spencer passed something in the city handbook a long time ago, and I believe it had something to do with you should be allowed to have political freedom of expression. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the exact nature of that, but I think that probably had to do with the fact that if you're commenting on federal government or something, that shouldn't like hold your job up at the city. Maybe, not sure, but I do know that some form of speech is protected. There's even there's a Missouri commission, municipal commission booklet that covers the entire state that municipalities can also follow. So there's that. I actually found a PDF some time ago and I read into that and it said a similar thing.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff where people can get caught up in kind of the drama filledness of things. And I see stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm going to comment and I have no intention to comment because I don't want to go down the social media rabbit hole. People will just pick things and that will start a fire, and so I'm not interested in that, but I'm just warning everybody in here that's available. um, Also, I'm throwing these two things out real quick. um, the city administrator said it would be interesting if we had a side by side to give people actual tours of the city. I don't know how that would be
Okay,
paid
can I ask
for.
you something? What would we be
Yeah,
giving them tours of if we got a
the
side by
town,
side? Like of what?
the town,
I
the
understand. Like
historic
what of the
downtown,
town?
easy
What
historic downtown
downtown?
district, the only
Mm-hmm.
downtown
Okay.
that we have. Then there's Third
Right, but like,
Street.
what are we showing them? What are we doing?
Okay. We could show them the historic downtown area. We could start at, it was
Just
suggested that we could start at, and by not answering your question,
no. Go ahead. Tell me what it would start. Where would it start?
okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk, but I'm not getting very much luck.
Go ahead.
So potentially start at the river view at the top of the hill, and then we could point to the river, overlooking the river. We could talk about the bust for a little bit, and we could drive them around, probably down Main Street, point to houses. There's historic houses down on Main Street, and then we could also take them for a tour down historic downtown Georgia Street, and then we could show them Third Street. Now logistics have not been worked out, but we can kind of give them a gist of the town if that's something that's infrastructurally feasible.
Do you think we could test that idea by maybe offering walking tours before we invest in something like a side by side?
Yes. And that was something that I thought about too. Something that I'm learning is presence and showing up to stuff. And if bodies are there, people will see that and they'll show up most of the time. And I'm not sure how it would work, but I know that since the city administrator has been added to the Facebook account, we can start figuring out how to disperse advertisements because he'll have the payment method to take care of that. And because he's the, he'll be one of the prime holders of city funds, then we could just advertise on our Facebook. You'd authorize those charges if necessary, and then that would just charge tourism, assuming we agreed on the advertisement charges.
So you're saying Facebook pages or something?
So like, let me rephrase that. So the tourism page we have now, I've added the city administrator to it.
Yeah.
Because I've tried talking to the treasurer about this, and I said I already tried to get a prepaid card and load it. It wouldn't let me do that. It wanted my funds, and I said I think it's unnecessary that people from tourism have to put their personal information, load their card up on there. Yeah. So that and also you can get into all kinds of crazy territory with unnecessary sunshine requests. Like, do I really have to go through with this $150 thing that there's an invoice for? Like, dragging all that out, stressing out people who just want to promote tourism. So the city admin has been added to the tourism page, and anything we decide to do in the future, he has not added a payment method yet. He's busy right now. He's just had his child, but that the idea is there. But yeah, I think the walking tour would be a fantastic idea. I wanted to do it last year, but I was kind of caught up in the moment and I just lost track of time. But there's websites that I propose that we could try, and if they don't work, I would like to hear your guys' idea. Not sure if you guys have heard of meetup.com or Eventbrite, but people will look for stuff to do. And I don't know, what if we had a board game event that lasted for an hour just to see who would show up? If they show up, they play a board game, and then we could take them on walking.
Yeah. So, like, how often would you want to be doing walking?
We could start out like maybe once a week and see if the demand grows.
Okay.
But like, for example, if a church grows, like the Long Church recently, their capacity got so full they have to have 2 sermons a day now.
Yeah, I guess my question is, do you have that kind of time commitment? And I ask because, like, I know I wouldn't. Mother's Day through Halloween, my Saturdays are booked unless they want to take a 9 p.m. walking tour. Your girl's not available. And so is this something that would be more of a youth passion project?
Yeah, I wouldn't just throw anybody to the fire or anything like that. So yeah, I would probably be the sacrificial lamb, test it out. And then if it works, then I could reach out to you guys and say, hey, would you be interested? And then we could probably agree on times, and eventually maybe something could come to fruition. But
I mean, I'm all for, testing it. I just don't want to add something to your
plate
if
yeah.
you don't have them for it.
No, I could test it out. Again, nothing's going to be perfect when it first comes out, but I was thinking maybe I could start at, say, like, it's so good, and then put it on meetup.com. I don't know how the reservation, how technical people want to get with it, but put that or Eventbrite. Here's the thing about Eventbrite.com. I put Colorfest on there, and somebody had jumped on there and they reserved tickets, even though it was free. But they pushed the button, and it was someone from Hannibal, Missouri. And I was like, okay, this would be a good testing grounds. It didn't cost any money. That it would be a good testing grounds to see how it worked with tourism, because people are showing up to the Community of Christ Center from other places. People are showing up apparently for the home tours. People have showed up from other towns as well. I saw on Woodrow's post that there are people, I think, as far as Chicago maybe. So people are coming here, and if we present an avenue to meet up, I mean, just socializing. People want to socialize. They want to meet people. That would give them an excuse to come.
I think so, and I mean, especially if you're doing it for free, and it's, say, an hour of your time, 2 hours of your time. It's not this huge commitment block. It's very low stimulation. Yes, you're walking, but it's not, it's not Colorfest. It's not a car show. It's not, big, loud, tons of people. You're going to be walking our town when kind of no one else is.
Mhm.
I like that idea.
Liza, as you want to chime in?
Yeah, no, great idea.
Okay.
What do you think is going to be our demographic? And like, well, are you going to have like a script? Like, how would this work?
Okay. I personally would not have a script for myself because I have done walking tours on campus and your mind will just go blank. I think if it's stuff that you've already learned about the buildings, it'll come out naturally. But there's a lot of challenges whenever you give a guided tour. So like whenever you're pointing at buildings, sometimes you'll run out of things to say and they'll have what's called dead time. So you ask people questions about, oh, where are you guys from and stuff like that. But then eventually you'll pick back up once enough time's passed. And it also depends on the pace that you're walking at. Um, Unfortunately, I still have it, but it's so much information. I don't know what happened exactly. I don't know why they didn't reach back out to me, but the person that was going to be doing the horse carriage rides, we had the infrastructure and everything ready. We were gonna have them dock at the animal shelter or put the horse there, but I had to talk to them about, hey, if you're going to do this, you have to realize like there's actually a ton of history just within this area that's going to exhaust somebody. And I have to ask, like, what's the route going to be? Are you going to go all the way to Sunset Park? Are you going to turn back around? And then I said, what if there's like a bronze, silver, and gold phase? If you pay so much money, and I don't mean like making it profitable necessarily, but kind of like how the Louisiana Betterment community, how they have home tours, we could have tours as well somehow. And then if you want the full experience, you have pay this money, but maybe that would go to a nonprofit or something. I don't know, but memorizing this stuff would be a little complex, but I think I'd probably do what's called fast facts. Most of that stuff, like what are the top 10 things that people would probably want to care about the most and list those off because eventually you might just turn into a rambling person. And I think the best person who can ramble on about history so passionately would be Britt Angle.
Yeah. You just repeat them.
Hmm. I think he'd probably get a kick out of that. And also, we get to host his historic meeting and make more people come. Because you know what, people actually do show up a lot. And again, as far as demographics, I think that varies. I think if millennial aged Gen Z people see a millennial aged Gen Z person giving a tour, they might be more apt to come. If a boomer aged person is doing a tour, maybe boomer demographic will be more apt to come because sometimes people think, oh, well, this age demographic won't socialize with me, but that's not true. So I don't know the demographic would be, but I would probably assume mostly older people.
Well, and I think you could reach out to there's a lot of homeschooling coalitions in this area as well that you could be their field trip of the week.
Okay.
And then that, gives you practice in front of very lenient children.
Good point. Liza, you still breathing? Earth Eliza.
Yeah, I'm still here. So has anybody been to the SLU Park?
The what?
The SLU Park.
Oh, you're talking about the Lay Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to the.
I've been there.
Yeah, I just went there recently. It's pretty cool.
Didn't I tell you about it?
Yeah. When the last meeting with Cassie.
Yeah, that is definitely a tourist attraction
Because
that
we
I
were talking
cannot
about
understand.
the pamphlet that Cassie was going to work on, and we were talking about places that we can put in the pamphlet.
Oh yeah.
I wish
That's a little gem.
Can we vote on something really quick?
Okay.
So I'm just being safe. So The bylaws are being structured right now and codified into Ecode 360, and I know that the city administrator is working on some of these things with restructuring things on committee. I don't know what all his plans are, but I gave him a copy of our bylaws, and I know there were only like 3 people here last time, but just for the record, I don't think I can appoint anyone. So you guys would actually have to, it's just technicality. I would just want to stick by the technicality. So I want to vote again on Liza wanting to be treasurer, and then Cassie wanted to be, how do you say her name? Wanted to be the secretary, like the note taker. So I will vote on B being the vice chair still. Is that okay? Okay. Okay. All those in favor of B, Skylander being the vice chair, say aye or yay.
Yay. Aye.
I don't see anyone opposed to anything. All those in favor of Liza being the treasurer for Louisiana Tourism Commission?
Yeah.
Yay. Liza, still need your vote.
Oh, I have to say yay. Yes, yay.
Okay. All those in favor of Cassie being secretary for Louisiana Tourism Commission, say yay.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. Okay, I've rambled off enough. Is there anything else? Okay, you guys, is there anything that we should work on doing for next year?
What's the first event?
Could be, yeah.
Easter.
Did we want to try to shoot for any kind of flea markets or citywide stuff?
Big flea market would be great.
I don't know, I'd really like to see a like townwide swap meet.
A swap what?
Swap meet.
What's that?
Essentially like the way the more formal ones are structured is it's meant for like it's mostly meant for people with kids who are outgrowing things, but essentially you bring 5 toys, right? And you're like, my kid doesn't need these 5 toys anymore. They've grown out of them. You bring 5 toys, you get 5 tickets, and then you can pick out 5 other toys for your kid to take home.
Okay.
Or, I mean, you can just donate if you're like, look, I don't really want anything. I just need to get rid of my stuff. That's fine too. But the idea is that it's just for the community, helping the community with no funds being passed.
Okay, and then would you want to be the head, the person that
Yeah,
I'll
spearhead that.
You want to spearhead it? That's what I was looking for. It's been kind of a stressful day, IT related stuff. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Where would we station ourselves?
I think we could do it in the pocket part. I don't think it would need to take up that much space. The biggest thing would just be like if we are accepting like drop-offs beforehand, having a spot to just put those and get them organized. But I can figure that out.
Okay, and then so if people say they don't want it and they give it to us, right? Where does that go when the event is over?
I mean, any of the thrift stores that accept donations.
Okay. So there would be no keeping of any of that stuff then. Okay. If any items.
Like if somebody drops off 10 items and say they only take 5 home, right? And now we just have 5 extra items, like we just don't. Or we do a last hour of the day, no tickets necessary, come grab what you want. Or, you know what I mean? Like whatever, but there would be no, I'm gonna hold on to this until the next garage sale kind of thing.
Would there be any radio advertisements or anything like that?
I think it would be better with Facebook advertisements.
Okay, so then it would it take place on a weekday or weekend? Okay.
I would say probably late spring so that we can get, we can help people with like summer toys. Like just that changing of the season, going to summer clothes, summer toys, stuff like that.
Mm.
That, you know, their kids have outgrown their stuff from last year, that they haven't bought stuff for this year yet.
Okay. I like it. Would we have any entertainment or anything besides that? Or could I bring like, actually, we have all those kids things downstairs. We could bring that. Okay.
I mean, if we wanted to do it as like a block party kind of thing and like bring out the games, maybe have like low cost entertainment, like
Mhm.
Rob Walgas, let a food truck come down, you know, whatever, if we wanted to turn it into a little bit of a block party. I'd be totally here for that.
Yeah, that would actually be something interesting. It will give life to the pocket park that's desperately needed.
Like, because even if we don't block Georgia, we just block like that side of 4th Street. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we would need to become a great nuisance to town.
Right. How would the process work for the vendors? Like, what would our limit be for the food vendors?
I would say just bring up one food truck and do it.
Okay. Would they compete for it or would we choose?
I don't know. I don't know what our limitation is on that as far as us deciding versus it being a jury decision.
Yeah, because it's more of a question of infrastructure and minimalism. And it's like, I mean,
I think it's a matter of putting out just a Facebook post on the event and going, all call, we are looking for one food vendor,
okay.
and just seeing who replies. Like that time of year, people are already busy.
Mhm.
And so like our pool is already like infinitely smaller because it's a small event.
Mhm.
So more than likely it would go to someone small who doesn't really travel outside of town. Maybe not, small's not the right word, but someone hyper local, like a food truck from, I don't even think Ellsbury is going to come out here for that event and they can go the same
Mhm.
distance, the opposite direction and be in St. Charles.
I see it being like, what is it, LMM or how do you say that?
I think like J&M,
Jaina. So,
I think Freckle and Smoke is pretty local. The Orange Mexican food truck
mhm.
are pretty local. Like I think it would just be somebody like that that like we're already
Keep taxpayer dollars here and stuff.
yeah, people were already very used to seeing in town.
I like it. It keeps momentum. That's very important. Okay. Also for future reference, um, I'm just making a statement. I want to work with, I want to work with, all these groups that are out there. And, I know we've had our differences in the past with various groups and we've had disagreements with various groups about where things should go, where this thing should go. But, I think we should just keep working together with whoever we work together with because, when we're all communicating, when we're all on board, things tend to work out and people are happy and things come to fruition. But when people are battling one another in these groups and they're saying they won't do this thing, that just causes issues. And so we are all here serving the citizens of Louisiana and those that come into our town. It's not really supposed to be in it for us, right? But unfortunately, I've I didn't realize how bad some of this like infighting is among some of the groups outside of tourism. So yeah, I want to get along with all the groups and the people in them, and I know that stuff's not easy, and we all get frustrated, but um, yeah, let's start the new year off and try to work together with everybody and hope that we can all bring the best out of Louisiana. That's all I'd say. Liza, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. Nope, we're good.
Okay.
Do we know when we'll start getting dates from everyone else?
You mean like from groups and stuff? Oh, just for stuff going on.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to go out. I think I'm gonna have to be an enabler because okay, so there is a conjunction issue. So when December 6th was happening, it wasn't planned perfectly, but then I found out, oh, the fire department, the school, all these other people are doing stuff. And then not everybody, unfortunately, got the chance to be included in those radio advertisements. But it's like, we can't just do all the work. People have to reach out to us too. So I think I'm going to try to find a system that I can stick to or we can stick to and just go out to businesses and say, hey, what are you doing? Because I talked to the owner of the Amazon store out there by the Twin Pikes and talked to her for a little bit. And I said, hey, did you know about XYZ? And she's like, oh, I'm going to be out of town. That's why I didn't plan on opening the store around that time. But she was considered after, the hype being generated for Georgia Street that she was considering creating a raffle also. So I might have to pick a time, or maybe we could pick a time where we could just start calling people maybe once out of the week and say, hey, do you have any events or something? And that way it keeps track. Because I've already given the email address out to one person and got one email, but I need to start going around more and asking businesses like what they're planning on doing. However, I noticed that Chamber has been on top of their game too, because Chamber has a lot of those events already on the Facebook page.
Okay, that's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Could we make it maybe a little easier by scheduling emails to go out, say the first of every month? And have a scheduled email that goes out to the businesses, and since we can't promote private businesses, that's going out to whoever the chairperson is of each of the committees to see if they're doing anything.
Okay.
And I say the committees, and yes, I am including things like the Historical Society, Planning and Zoning, Cats and Dogs. I don't know what that's called. Animal control. Because those people as chair people leading those committees are probably very well connected in town.
Correct.
And so even if like their committee's not putting something on, they might hit you back with a, hey, did you hear so-and-so's doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And now that gives you an in. And I think if they're regularly seeing that in their inbox on the first of every month, they're like, wow, Patricia is really on top of it. And you're like, it's just a scheduled email.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But just having that blast out.
Yeah.
Do you have anything going on this month or next? And, say the October email says, we've already got Colorfest handled. Is there something else you're doing around that time that we can add to the same ads, or do you need a different ad? That way they can kind of feel like, oh, you already mentioned their thing, but I'm doing something that same weekend, just put us together. And that kind of helps to justify things like what we did for December 6th. Because we didn't spend that because one business was doing something. We spent that because multiple businesses were doing something.
Correct.
And I think we have a lot of those business groups in town who chitter chatter like that.
Yeah, and I think it would be wise for all the neighboring businesses to start creating kind of homogeneous events and then all forming the same, all connecting the dots because I saw quite a few cars down here on Georgia Street and that kind of fluctuated, but the thing is that when you have cars, it's the same with showing up to stuff. People on 79 might randomly see that and say, "Hey, let's go see what they're doing." People want to wander and be nosy in towns, and they see cars lined up. They're going to say, "Hey, there's stuff going on here."
Well, and personally, I really enjoyed when we were doing Light Up Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. And it was a low cost, just unlock your door and be open at a different time than normal. I thought it was great. It got people outside, it got them walking, it got them into the downtown district. Were they spending a ton of money? But we all got to be open and cute and fun and feel like we were seeing our neighbors.
What year was that?
I want to say 24, but it might have been 23 because it was like right when we opened.
Okay.
Like it was, yeah, it was rootin' tootin' near when we opened. So I want to say it was 23.
You know what I just realized? There was an app that came out, and I think it was called Neighbor or something. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was an app that came out.
Next door neighbor?
What?
The next door neighbor?
It might be that app, and it was supposed to get people like community oriented, but it failed.
Nextdoor was actually kind of nice if your community's using it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I had Nextdoor.
I had it in St. Louis. We used it.
Yeah, I had it in Chattanooga, and people were on there all the time. And it's so cute because you can make your dog a little profile. And so people know about your pet in case they get out. And you can just scroll through and see all the pets in your neighborhood. It's very cute. People get people get really funny with it.
That's how I found out my dog was missing when I was on vacation. Not vacation, I was out of town for a funeral. Yeah, they posted it. Lost dog on the Nextdoor app, and it was my dog. I was like, oh, hi. It works if you use it.
Yeah, if the town is using it for good, I think it's a great app. But I don't think this town has any issue with connecting on social media as it is.
No.
I don't think they need another platform.
No, I think they know how.
I think we need them out, touching grass and smelling the fresh air.
Getting off Discord.
Yes, I think we need them in public, where society moves.
Well, honestly, I don't really have anything else because it's cold, it's wintertime, and I don't really know what kind of special thing could happen. I will throw this out here though. I did contact Viking Cruise Company. They're responsible for the Heartland of America tour where they go up the Mississippi River. And I was able to get to a part of a management team from Viking. And I said, hey, how do I get a hold of someone to see about the possibility of having Louisiana be a pit stop for the cruise? Because the cruise, when they come down the river, they hit Hannibal, they skip Clarksville, Louisiana, probably for certain reasons, and then I think they go to St. Louis maybe, and I think they stop in like maybe Alton, Illinois, or something. But just letting people know that I did try to reach out and I was able to reach somebody, so I have sent an email, but that's not going to be my elevator pitch. So I forwarded it out to the city admin and I said, work the magic, because the city admin probably has a more robust information, like something that's very business-esque that they want to throw in that I can't, because Viking even said we're looking to expand our operations. So fingers crossed, because we do need an area for docking. I mean, the marina has a docking thing and they get lovely visitors there all the time.
Oh, speaking of the river, doesn't directly affect us, but Flotsam is in the Midwest this year.
I've seen that.
Yeah, been going on the really nice stuff. We all want to take a boot trip down to Alton. I think they hit Alton. I think they're starting.
That'd be kind of like a warm welcome to us to hi again. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, and that would maintain connection too.
Yeah, because they were great. Like the whole township out there.
Yeah, I heard some people make comments about it. I'm like, no, it was awesome. They did a lot for being free and, being very kind about the donation aspect. Like they put a lot on the line for us, and it was perfect. Everything was perfect when they showed up. It's like what our town, having a crazy little thing just show up.
No, it was really good. I'd love to have them back. And more stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like, we can't do it all. I want to figure out how to bring stuff like that to the home. And like, I know it doesn't look like we have anything to offer them, but like, we have space. We have the riverfront for somebody to do something. And I don't know. Like, it's just, it's not all on us. I want us to remember that. And there are people and things that are just always looking for a new place to be at. And I just don't know how we find it. To where even if Louisiana is just a revolving door, at least if there's people walking through there.
Yeah, we've had a number of interesting people, especially adjacent to Louisiana, just show up in this neck of the woods. Yeah. There really has to be like Louisiana is such a peculiar place because, it's like we have celebrity people just show up, like Lucas Black. There's a post he showed up to Taste at Phillies and Bowling Green, and I'm just like, that's great.
Yeah.
And people will say, "Oh, look who showed up," but they'll just show up in Louisiana and you won't even know it, or they'll show up at Walmart and Bowling Green, like, oh, and it's like, well, people are aware of the area. So.
Yeah.
I personally don't have anything else to add.
Adjourn.
Unless you guys want to come by and join in on the Christmas carrying the city's doing.
What
We're
is
doing
it?
carrying.
Christmas what?
The carrying, the city employees are doing a carrying, but I don't see why tourism members couldn't show up, especially since we're not going to be able to eat all our food.
What are you carrying?
Food.
What is that?
Pop.
So like we're doing a citywide, like the city hall is doing a city carry-in, so we're bringing dishes and stuff in, and the details are being worked on right now. But we're gonna have a potluck and some other stuff, and then we're also gonna bring gifts for people, like a Secret Santa thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, if you guys want to join in on the culture, I think it would be great because people being recluse at their houses. I know people sometimes are not people persons, but if you come out and show up, people will be happy. They'll say, "Wow, that was cool. Everybody joined together and they did this thing." So I'm going to be there.
When? Yeah.
I can send an email out if you guys wait for the email next week or two. It's closer to Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think. I think I'm going to see if we can't just go ahead and get our committee members and everybody to join in too. Maybe we can. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I'll adjourn this meeting and you guys have a wonderful Christmas.
Get home safe. Thank
And
you.
Happy
You
New Year.
too. Happy New Year. Bye.
Good New Year.